Last time I tried a ball joint separator in here and didn't have any luck. So I removed that and tried a ball joint separator, the kind that you put in there and screw it on and tighten it down, and I still didn't have any luck. I ended up leaving the ball joint separator on there and applying heat to it on the end whilst the ball joint separator was on, but I cranked it down even more on the ball joint separator and it just broke the tool, and the lady needed the car back, so I just stopped there. By the way, this is the technique I did on the other side. I had to replace the drive shaft because it had actually snapped, the drive axle. So I couldn't get the other side off when I tried to do that. So I had to just take out the two bolts here, and it gave me enough room to get the axle out of the way. But on this side, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to address this. Now I can belt that. I've had that with my Ford Transit where I hit it hard enough with a sledgehammer and it cracks it loose. But I think I had different forces on this. I've got this wishbone, it's kind of pointing down, so the way it's wanting to bend is kind of like that if I'm trying to separate it. But the shaft here from the strut is wanting to go that way. I'm almost sure that there's two things just fighting against each other. I'll try and hit this and see what happens. Like I said, I've got the ball joint splitter. I can get it in level now by lifting this up. I can just put that in level. That might make enough of a difference to get this out. I'll give it a go. What I'm going to do here is turn this splitter over. I couldn't get it because it was pointing up. My hammer would have to be in the wheel arch area. I'm going to try it underneath. So it's, instead of pointing up, it's now pointing down. I think because this is all released and I'm not forcing this to go up that way whilst the arm's trying to go that way, see, I think it might help it. But I'm still going to have to hit it. Had no luck so far. Like I say, I was at this for 2 hours and I'm not going to charge you anymore. It's just one of those things. The lady says, what's this going to cost me anymore? Fair question. And sometimes things don't go to plan in the mechanic world, as I'm sure you know. Okay, let's try this. Try and get this bastard. Don't know if that's done anything. Yeah, that got it. Actually, you wouldn't believe how much difficulty I had. And the only thing I've done different is taking the top bolts out. Hopefully this is helpful to somebody because I spent 2 hours, I had heat on the control arm whilst it had a ball joint separator on there. I broke the ball joint separator cranking it down to get it to pop out. Just using basic tools but having to think about the way that the effort and the force is going to go has done it. Hopefully it's helpful to somebody. Thanks for watching. There it is. See that? That wasn't me hammering on this. That's how bad it was. And I also think that's maybe losing some of the force because it's that badly worn. Might have to clean that up where the ball joint separator may have squashed it out. It might be okay. Want to make sure it fits through the hole. But if you want to see how I press it out, just keep watching. I'm going to get my ball joint press and try and take this right out of there. Well, these ball joints are different sizes. Yeah, that bit there I'm not too worried about right there because that's behind the boot. As long as this bit fits. But this outer bit here is smaller, the outer bit that's wider. This is bigger on the old one. So that ain't gonna fit. I just hope that when I take that out, this is the right one. Otherwise I gotta put the old one back in and tell them that's it knackered again and do it another night. Sometimes we get the wrong parts, but I'm not gonna panic just yet. What I've got is the kit, but as you can see, I can't get onto the bottom of that. So I'm gonna cut this, almost take a slice out from my thumb to my finger and take it up a little bit so it fits on there and see if that's enough to get it out. I've got two sets. I've got set and a little set, and they both have one of these. So I know I could sacrifice one of them and I've still got another one if I need it. On the stud end of it, I've used various spacers and put the nut back on so I can press on the nuts with the end of the screw. On this side, as you can see, I've took a big slice out so that it fits on there. Now I've just got to press it out. Well, that was easy. Did the job. It's got to go a little bit further, but practically got it. It's just, you see there how much it's gone? Come closer, Leon. See how much I've got it? So that's it. So this kit, doing that, you can film me for a bit, this kit, doing that to a tool is sometimes cheaper than buying the right tool for the job. You can buy a whole kit cheaper than buying the right tool. So you could buy a kit and make one of them sacrificial to do the job cheaper than buying the right tool for the job, and you've still got the rest of the kits. But in this case, that little kit that I've got, that can replace that if I do need one that's not like that. So now the thing is, I gotta clean that up a bit, but I don't want to take too much off there with emery paper that this is going to fall right through. Shit, and it's the wrong one. It goes right through anyway. This happens, this will be the third time I'll have to go back to this car, and this means I've got to put it all back together. When people can't get the parts right, I understand it's not their fault, they only go by what's on the system, but it is so annoying. So this bit, the new one isn't even close. So you can probably imagine what I'm thinking right now. I've got to go back to the customer and say it's the wrong one. I don't want to look incompetent myself. The parts places don't tend to make mistakes, but they can only go by what's on the system. In this case, at least I can measure it and give them an actual size to make it easier if there is choices. This is frustrating. Not only is that bit bigger, 43mm, and the new ones I'm getting a 40mm across from my thumb to my finger here, but also this shaft's bigger, so it's way too small, the new one, to go in that hole. It just waggles about. It needs to be that size. So this is going to have to go back in again. I'm going to have to order the right one. Seems all the motor factors are saying the same thing. See the amount of play in it? They're all saying the same thing. This is the only one you can get is the 40mm, but I need 43. So I've ordered one off eBay that says it's 43. All I can do now is put this all back together. And yeah, there's play in it, but it's no more play than before I came to the car. So I'll get that in there. If they do need to use it, they can for an emergency, like a short trip. I wouldn't recommend driving. So like I say, it's no more one than it was. But this is annoying. I'm going to do something. I'm going to have to do a favour with the price for all the messing about. I'm only charging 1 hour, so it's £40 labour, and the part I got was £10. The new ones, well, it's over twice that. I can't remember the price. I think it's getting on for 30. So the new is a different price. I'm not going to change the price for them. I quoted a total of £50, but I don't know now with all the messing about. They do have an oil leak from what looks to be the oil pressure switch. If it's cheap enough, I might just do that for free whilst I'm under the car the next time and order one of those. But I've got to press this, and I'm glad I didn't chop this off to try and fit the tools to get that bit out. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to put it together again. So I'm going to use the press it together. I'm pressing in the old one again, but it's going to be the exact same if you had a new one. How I press this, it's going to be the same as if that was the new one. So I'll just go and press that in. Okay, as you know, when you press it in, you don't press on the centre of that. You try and press on the outer bits. So we'll get this set up. I'll find an adapter that fits that. I want it kind of straight, so it's not skew-if when it's going in. I want it kind of straight, so it'll just push in there. And then we can get that back in. I'll get it set up and press it in. So it's got to be long enough. Don't want to press something that's going to get the end of the shaft stuck in the end of a hole in one of these adapters. This one hasn't got a hole right through it. I've got the nut on as well to stop that happening. That should fit in there. So I'm going to use just that end on its own on the top of the ball joint, so it's not pressing on the centre of it. It'll press on the circular bit like that, and that should fit in there. I'll press it back in and throw it back on. There it is on the outer bit. That looks fairly straight to me going in, and I'm on the cup there, so I'll just put this on here one-handed and rattle that in. It fell off, but you get the idea. It's almost in. I need to really do it two-handed, but that's how I do that. The other thing then is I'll lift it up, and well, I'll show you when I've got it ready. So there's the bottom one in, and the pin's back in there, the little pin in there. Same way, you want to have the holes to line up so you can get the pin in. Like I say, there's no boot, but it's getting done maybe tomorrow or the day after, and I don't even know if they're going to use it. I'm just getting the wheels back on for now. And then the drive shaft's in. This is the way I replaced the drive shaft before, with not on this side, on the other side. You can get the drive shaft in because this comes out that much, and you just put this in here and put the bolts through. I got the big nut back on. These are on and tightened. The 2 caliper bolts, I think they were 17s, maybe 18s, can't remember. I got the 10mm there and the 10mm up there. That one wasn't a very good bolt anymore. I had to use an Irwin to get it off. I mean, what are these called? Twist socket. Had to get it off with one of those, so yeah, but we're done. That's how it was. Just got to put the wheel on, and if there's an ABS light on, because I had that disconnected, okay, I put the ignition back on to put the window up when I went to try and get another part. But the other part was the same as the one that I got for this originally. That was the wrong one. Seems to be the way most factors are going. So I might have generated an ABS light, and if that's the case, I'll just reset it. But that's how you do this. I'm very quick to put it together again. The main thing was getting the thing out. Like I said, the first time I tried this, I had heat and all sorts on there. A couple of hours at it, and it didn't come out. But by just coming back and undoing this first, it totally made a huge difference. It just came off the way you would expect a ball joint to come off using the pickle fork design ball joint separator. So it's really put time on the job. Like I say, I'm not even finished yet, so this is just what happens when you're a mechanic, and it's frustrating that I've chose to do it on a Sunday when I'm limited to what I can do about it. But I'm going to order the right one, going by the measurements. Now that I know there are different sizes, I ordered the one that was the right size on the measurements off eBay, so hopefully it's a good brand. It's going to be better than the one that's on it. And thanks for watching.